I'm going to pass you over to Susan Muirhead, the PKD Charity Support Services Manager. She's going to talk about the support services we offer at the charity. Over to you, Susan.
Hello and welcome. I am sure many of you will have come across me before. If you haven't, I do work for the charity, but I'm also a PKD wife, mother and kidney donor. So I'm familiar with many of your questions. So for our support services, we have multi-ways for you. We offer you practical, emotional and social support through many things, whether it's our community meetups, which are all held virtually, our helpline, Facebook groups, peer support, small based calls, our live events such as today, are also our minis, which are our webinars. The support line is usually manned by myself. If I'm not available, it would be Tess, or if we're both in a meeting, etc., please leave a message and we'll always get back to you. Now, you might phone for a chat to clarify something. You might have an up and coming appointment and be a little nervous. We can just talk you through whatever's bothering you at that time. We're looking then at community meetups. Up till this year, we loved our community meetups, the social side where we would meet our friends within the PKD community and have a coffee, perhaps a cake, and a good old chin wag. But unfortunately, this year we've had to move many of these things onto Zoom. So in addition to the local areas, which you'll see on the screen, we also have what we call community 11sies. We hold an open social using Zoom once a month, and traditionally it's now falling on the first Wednesday of the month. So these are always listed on our website and you can register in advance for them. It's a great way, just sometimes you don't want to share your worries with your best friend because they don't maybe understand quite where you're coming from, but as always within our PKD family, people do, whether you're worried perhaps about, as Anne was talking about, making those choices about renal replacement therapies, you come along to one of these meetups, you will usually come across someone who's made these choices before you. I can remember once it was the first time, it was actually a nurse in our community had ever seen a fistula. So they're good. We're not doom and gloom, they're very light-hearted meetings. And that's just a little comment about one. Just being able to chat with others from your own home and being able to give and receive support, getting a good laugh along the road. That's what we aim to do. Facebook, we love it or loathe it. There's nothing in between. We do have a closed support group. We moderate the charity and volunteers moderate the group, but it's your platform. It's for you to discuss what's worrying you, what joy you want to share, etc. Now, it is a private group, so if you do join, you're asked 3 simple questions to make sure you're not a Chinese medicine man trying to sell a magic cure. So we keep that as a safe place for you. It's great because it's there 24 hours a day. There's always someone online who'll answer your question, and nothing ever is a silly question to ask within the group. Someone's always thought that as well. Topic-based calls. Today, we haven't got a specific speaker on the subject of tolvaptan, which is a treatment which can slow the growth of PKD cysts. There is recordings on our website of previous webinar, and there's a small information page as well about that form of treatment. Occasionally, we will hold a small call where you're welcome to dial in, and usually on the call, we'd have 2 people who've got lived experience of it. So perhaps if the topic was tolvaptan, we would get 2 patients along who've taken tolvaptan, and you will hear from the horse's mouth the good, the bad, the ugly, what they've experienced from it. Again, it might have been you're newly diagnosed and you're not sure. So what's other people's opinion? What questions did they have, and how did they get over their fears? Or you're building up to a transplant and you're not sure about it. And it can be the simple question of, what do I put in my hospital bag to take with me? So again, you'll find details of these events on our pages. Peer support. We always say problems feel smaller when you share them, or a problem's halved when it comes out. We have trained volunteer supporters who will give you that one-to-one support that you want. They're not counsellors by any means, but they're a listening ear, someone you can build a regular contact and relationship with and share your concerns, whether you want to speak to them on a monthly basis, weekly, or just when you're coming up to an appointment and you feel, oh, I don't want to say to my husband, it's worrying me, but you know, you've got your PKD peer who can go through that with you. So it's talking to your PKD buddy. And it's something, if anyone was interested, they can phone the helpline and we can give them more details. And that's it. There's from a lady who's involved in the scheme, and she found just having someone to talk makes it so much easier and less of a burden for our family. And I think that's it. We don't always want to burden our families, so being able to share with others who truly understand can make a big difference to your own well-being. We also have webinars. So our webinars are a bit like today's PKD live event, but they are short, sharp, topic-based. They last approximately an hour, and these are ones that we have coming up. Today in the chat, I was aware that there were several questions regarding polycystic liver disease. We're very fortunate that this will be a standalone topic in January. And also another one that came up was topic of pregnancy, and that's going to be covered in addition in January. We are hoping that Mike, who was unable to attend today to give his talk on pain, will be available to us again. So these are always listed on our website. To ensure that you are notified of any of these events, please do sign up for our newsletter, and we'd always send them out to you so that you're aware. So e-newsletter, and we'd be sending out details, including registration for these nearer the time. Also, and some of you today, links, especially when you were asking perhaps in genetics talk about having your children tested. There's a recording from May when Dr. Matko, a paediatric nephrologist from Great Ormond Street, gave an hour's discussion on PKD in children and young people. He did cover potentially some of the pros and cons of it, and also what can be done in monitoring and not full testing, perhaps just taking a child's blood pressure and not go through full testing. And it gives you the guidelines there as well. Because for many of us, we're not sure where to start. Our GPs, it's not a common topic they come across, but they're great places. Again, COVID's had impact on our well-being. A lovely Suzanne there who gave us a chat as well. I was aware some dietary questions were also coming up today, and there's a recorded webinar on the topic of PKD and diet. So fantastic tools at your own fingertips. And like today, I think we had someone join us using Zoom for the first ever time. This is a similar comment from someone who joined a webinar. They were a bit nervous, but they found it so easy and relaxing. I'm hoping the lady who joined Zoom today for the first time is finding it the same. We say it's at your fingertips. We have a fantastic website, and it is good every now and then to refresh our own knowledge and perhaps going and looking for what's available there. It might be simple things, but progression. Today we went through with Anne the stages of EGFR and the stages of your chronic kidney disease, whether it's stage 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. Anne explained it quite well there today, but there is little charts that do explain it there as well. Perhaps how often you should be seen. Tolvaptan, we have information on it, what support's there. Fundraising, research, we always want to know what's happening, number for our support line. So it's a worthwhile going and having a look, whether it's that topic of blood pressure. All of the topics there are drop-down banners and easy accessed. And everything there is medically checked for the writing that it's factually correct. You heard me say, stay up to date so we can stay in touch with you. Please do sign up. We'll drop into the chat a link today for you to engage with ourselves to give us permission that we can send you out information. So if you are interested in any of the upcoming webinars, we will get them out to you by e-news. And that's it. I have cut that down dramatically, trying to allow everyone the maximum of their hour lunch there to try and catch some time up. Anyone has any questions at all, feel free to drop me an email at info@pkdcharity.org.uk, or alternatively phone our helpline on 0300 111 1234. Okay, I'm not sure if there was any questions came in there. I'm sure Jane will keep it right.
No, I think we're okay there, Susan.
Oh, we're okay there.
Yeah, thank you for that. I think as Susan mentioned there, if you're not already on our mailing list, please, do sign up. Madeline's just dropped a link to that into the chat. So not the Q&A, it's gone into the chat. So if you go down to the chat and click on that link, you can either click on the link and sign up right away, or you can copy and paste that and do so later. So in doing that, you'll receive e-news, which will give you information on forthcoming events, any sort of research news updates as they happen. So we don't bombard you with lots and lots of unnecessary information. It's just the kind of information we think that would benefit you and your family living with PKD. So do sign up to that, and you will also get a notification of when the recordings of today are available as well. So we're going to leave it there. Thanks, Susan. We're going to take a break. We're all going to have lunch, and we'll be back at 2 o'clock.